Hi everybody, I'm here with Premier Placements to make a short and sweet video on what it's like to be new to leasing and what helped me the most with my temp work when I first started off. Firstly, don't be afraid to Google apartment industry terminology, okay? Some of this you will not be familiar with, especially if you're new to the industry, and it'll really help you out and give you a one-up if you have an idea of what these terms are and what they mean, so that somebody doesn't always have to take the time and explain those words to you. You might not necessarily know how to apply them before you start off in your career, but just having those words behind you and being able to reference them and connect the dots later on is vital. Also, show up early as you can, or at least on time, but show up early to work with an eager and positive attitude. Be ready to work. And what I mean by this, when you walk into the building, have a smile on your face. Let it be as genuine as possible. Keep good posture, stand up straight, and look ready to work. This will set you apart from probably most of the temps that they've had before you even get a word in. Ask them what they expect for you to accomplish for the day. This is important because most of the time, you're kind of just going through the motions. They know that you're here just to help out. They want you to answer some phone calls. It's pretty uniform wherever you go that they want you to help out, maybe with some referrals, maybe just follow-ups. You might do a few prospect tours and so on. So whatever it is they want you to accomplish for the business day, make sure you set out those tasks beforehand so that you can meet their goals for the day. I like to ask a few questions that I have found really helpful going into work. So before the business day even starts, ask, what are your highlight amenities? Know how to show them in their best light if you do have to give a prospect a tour. Also, know how many units are in the community and what types of floor plans they have. For example, do they only offer 1 bedrooms? Do they offer 2 and 3? So on. What information or pamphlet do I send out to prospects when they come to tour? Know what information you will be giving prospects when they sit down with you and they want the numbers. That's usually why people are there. They want specifics on pricing, and beyond what is the market rent price, they also would like to know the application fees, the utility fees, and so on. So if you have a pamphlet that provides all that information, it makes it a lot more uniform for you and a quicker process if the office is busy and there's a lot of prospects coming through the door. Also, always know what the current availability is. Easiest way to go about this is just to print off a current availability sheet for the day, but make sure it is up to date. I cannot stress this enough. Also, know if they accept housing vouchers or not. It is a yes or no question, but it's important to ask because some people just want to know this information before they move forward with providing any other information. Know what software they use. If you're familiar with it, it kind of gives you that one up where you're able to easily access any tabs that you need to. Otherwise, if you're not familiar with it, you haven't worked with it before, it's a learning opportunity. So, you might just ask for a basic rundown on what tabs you'll need to access to accomplish the task that they have given you. And how do you put in a service request? This is important if they want you to fill out work orders that you receive on the calls. If they ask you to just write a running list and hand it into them, they might want to put in the work orders themselves. It's really up to the property and whoever you're reporting to. But if they would like you to put in work orders and you're willing to help out with that, you should definitely ask how to go about doing that. After the shift or towards the end of the shift, it's important not to ask to leave early. Even if it is super slow, the phones haven't rang in an hour, find something that makes you feel productive, but don't ask to leave. It looks bad on you as a temp. It also looks bad on your staffing agency. If anything, ask if you can assist with some simple closing duties. It might just be wiping down desks, spot sweeping the floor, turning off the music or the TVs, something that will help get your supervisor out of the office sooner rather than later upon closing the business day. This will stick out to them because it does set you apart from other employees, and it speaks volumes that you care more about the business than you do your individual needs of getting out exactly 6 o'clock on the dot, per se. And before you leave the building, make sure to take a business card or two with you. This is just a standard good practice and habit to get into. You never know when you'll need that contact information in the future, and it's always easier to grab a business card to have all that contact information there already. And very quick, I want to go through a little list of what I've learned and what helped me find a permanent placement. If you cannot promise I can solve that response, reassure the person on the phone, especially, or in person, that you're listening and express concern. Make sure it's genuine concern and make sure you are seeking to understand their needs. Beyond understanding their needs, repeat back to them what they need specifically. It always goes over better when the person knows that you know what they need. So if you can't fix it on the spot, it's not within your authority or your authorization, make sure the person knows that you are genuine about it, that you will make sure personally that this task gets followed through. Also, don't ignore the phones. Always answer it by the second ring. If you're there for temp work, most likely they need you to help out with the phones and so forth. So answering the phones really takes a lot of pressure and stress off of the permanent office employees who probably have a lot on their plate and to-do list. So if you can help out with the phones in any way, that is great help to them. Also, introduce yourself to all the office members, even the maintenance staff, people who you don't see very often around. It's a good idea to build those connections short on. So you want to go ahead and make an effort, a genuine effort, to remember all of their names, even if you're bad with names. And lastly, stay off your phone. You're there for business, you're there for work. They don't want to see you on your phone. Personal calls should be few and far between and communicated with your supervisor if needed. But my suggestion to you is just to turn off your phone, put it on Do Not Disturb, forget about it, leave all your personal issues at the door. Anyways, this concludes my tips and tricks on how to be successful to leasing. I hope y'all have a great day. Thanks.